Hi everyone, welcome back to Alexis University. So today we're going to be talking about the topic of quitting. And so you basically feel like college is not for you. You finished your first 2 semesters and you didn't do that great. You're still above the water, but you just feel like I'm done with this. I don't know if I want to come back next year. So what do you do when you start to feel like that? Because everybody's had that semester or those 2 semesters that they just feel like they got beat up and they're ready to give up. And that's the reality of college. Like, sometimes you just really feel like I'm over this. I can't take this. I'm stressed out. I don't know what to do. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. So the first thing that you want to think about when you feel like you need to give up or you feel like quitting is, what is the first time that made you feel like that? Was it a class that you took? Was it an exam that you took? Was it the amount of classes that you took? Like, what was the specific thing that made you feel like I can't do this anymore? I want to give up. So for me, I would say the first time I ever felt like that in college is when I was taking chemistry. I took chemistry 3 times actually. I took once during the school year, once during the summer, and then I finally took it for a third time during the school year again. That's when I actually passed the class. So for me, it was chemistry, and I'm like, okay, what am I doing? Why is this class just causing me so much grief? What can I do to get better at this class? Like, I was literally studying, I was going to office hours, but I just wasn't getting it. And I know science has never been my strong point, but I wasn't going to let this class take me out. So I was like, okay, what do I need to do differently after the second time taking it? What do I need to do differently so that I can get better at this class? Because I refuse to fail for a third time. Sometimes you need to have that heart-to-heart conversation with yourself and say, hey, you need to get it together. You need to step up your grades. You need to step up the studying. Even if you're studying for this class every day, study for the class twice a day. Go to office hours every time they have office hours. Form another study group. So instead of having one study group for this class, have 2. Whatever you need to do to make sure that you're not feeling like you need to give up, that's what needs to be the first priority for you. So like I said, first you need to figure out what's causing you this grief. What's causing you to feel like, I just can't do this anymore. I need to give up. One thing you need to think about is, if you quit, then what's next? Are you going to go back home and work full time? Are you going to go back home and just kind of get yourself together? Like, what would you be doing next? And if you don't have a specific plan, then there's no plan. So you just need to make sure that you are having like a pep talk with yourself. So if you can step outside your body and say, hey, what would you say to yourself? So for me, like I said, it was, you need to make sure that you're in office hours every time that they have office hours. You need to make sure that you're studying twice a day for this class. No matter how much sleep you're losing, you need to make sure that this is the top of your priority. So when I took that chemistry class for the third time, I made sure I took it with other class that didn't require as much attention as my chemistry class would take, because I just knew that I needed to focus a lot on this class. So I took it with classes that were still important to my major, but they didn't require me to study as much, because they were something that I was either interested in or something that I could just, kind of breeze through, because it was something that I knew how to do already, like math. I was really good at math in college. I've always been really good at math. So I took it with a math class that I knew I would have to study for, because it was something new that I was learning, but I didn't have to spend as much time with this class because I kind of already knew math, and I understood math. Like, I understand how to flip on a light switch. Like, that's how good I was at math. So, kind of think about, okay, if I have to retake this class, what can I do differently this time? Can I take it with different classes that don't require as much time? Can I take it in the summertime where I'm only focusing on this one specific class? But for me, giving up wasn't an option. One thing I've always been taught is to take no off the table. So taking no off the table, quitting off the table for me is kind of what helped me get through that class the third time. We all have moments where we feel like we just need to stop and we can't take this class anymore, or we have too many hours at work and it's kind of interfering with your schedule as far as schoolwork. So you just need to step back, figure out what's going on, and it's kind of start journaling these things. So every time something happens, if it becomes like a certain quote unquote trigger, you'll be able to say, okay, when I did this, it caused me anxiety. So I'm going to step back from that, and I'm going to sit down and breathe and just give myself 15 minutes to regroup. And sometimes, you have to take that moment for yourself and just say, hey, I just need a quick moment to regroup. And once I regroup, then I can focus back on what I need to be focused on. I know for me, if I sit and regroup, it gives me more anxiety. So for me, it's better if I push through and finish that assignment. And then once I'm done with the assignment, I feel like, whoo, I did that. It wasn't as painful or as stressful as I thought it was going to be, but I finally was able to push through and get that assignment done. So that's one thing that works for me. If it works for you, then that's great as well. Make sure you send me some things that you also have learned that work for you when you feel like you want to give up. You can email them to me at info@alexisuniversity.com, and I'll be sure to respond back to you. Thanks so much for watching this video, and we will see you next time.